I've played AD Twisted Fate, AD TF, for about 12 years. You what? He's AP? Well, no one told me. Not for at least 1 year, anyway. So back when I was starting League of Legends and I found the funny gambler man, the role descriptions were plentiful. So he had like every tag available and it wasn't clear what I was supposed to do with him. So like anyone at the time, I looked up a guide and found this one video on a Halloween Summoner's Rift with this guy playing Twisted Fate mid, building this thing. Going by icon alone, I found something called Zeke's Herald, an item providing AD and lifesteal, but also an aura that gave your allies lifesteal as well. So I was like, okay, sure thing I guess. He's AD then. I would later find out that this was an item called Stark's Fervor that got reworked into Zeke's. To this day, I'm not clear on what Stark's Fervor actually did, but apparently it was good. So from then on, I was building things like Phantom Dancer, Trinity Force, probably Infinity Edge, Blade of the Ruined King didn't even exist yet, and just generally ADC Twisted Fate. Soon enough, someone would tell me AD TF was bad and he's an AP champion, since his range was low, lower even than Vayne's. So I did what anyone who just spent a year learning AD TF would do, and simply denied AP TF's existence. Even when I eventually tried it, it wasn't as fun as throwing cards really fast. His E gave attack speed for a reason, I thought. That said, when I started League YouTube around Season 6 to Season 7, I wasn't really playing much AD TF. Not for videos, and not for the eventual streams. Because for one, I didn't really like ADC. But also, yeah, he wasn't amazing. His AD build was weakened by his bad attack range of 525. His Q had no AD ratio, so it literally wasn't leveled. His best AD items were all crits, yet his kit had no crit synergy. Actually negative crit synergy a little bit since his W can't crit. And his E on-hit scaled with AP and fell off harder than my channel's analytics last year. Plus, as the years went by, him being the only AD carry with a stun changed real fast. He just kinda became a bit subpar an option. And one of the nails in the coffin was the Runes Reforged rework in Season 8, where because they removed AD and AP runes and stuff, they gave all the AD champions some increased base AD to compensate. Except TF. Because he's a mage! As mentioned, his biggest saving graces as an AD champion were utility items like Rapid Fire Cannon, that was so good even APTF was also building it. But he wasn't bad, don't get me wrong. Subpar, not meta, sure, but he was by no means bad. Even if his magic damage fell off, it was still relevant in early to mid game, and amassing attack speed, which he also got on his E, was really strong. Alternatively, maxing W first with AD let you be an AD carry with a 2-second stun, which quite often, despite your weak stats, was enough to beat other ADCs 1v1. On equal gold? No, not on equal gold. Twisted Fate should never be on equal gold. The house always wins. Twisted Fate's passive meant that every single minion and creepy kills will grant minimum +1 gold, and maximum +6. It's also stacked in his favour, so he's more likely to get higher rolls than low rolls because he's like that. So if you aren't prevented from farming, TF can get those powerful AD items faster than his opponents on equal kills. Back in the Mythic era, this meant getting something like Gale Force quickly, which led to getting easy picks with gold cards, and you add Rapid Fire Cannon and he's making crazy picks from very long range with a 2-second point and click stun. Truly the fear of all of those squishy dash champions. But yet, he still had 525 range, and supports were getting deadlier every year. He never got much tankier, and a sneeze from a Rengar would probably put you 6 feet under, so positioning, move speed, and all those other ADC things was still very imperative. And arguably, other ADCs could achieve better with a support functioning as their gold cards, or even multiple gold cards. And even if you got that gold advantage, your worth with those crit items would eventually be overpowered by the enemy ADC who has better AD stats and synergies. At least, it used to. Enter patch 14.2, where Twisted Fate now has AD ratios and crit synergy. Everything is changing, including the way you stutter step with him, because oh my, having your base attack speed changed really messes with you at first. Though quite a lot feels the same, it's nice to know that your crit items aren't being wasted. Your W still can't crit, but now just having crit chance increases the damage of your W cards. Now as well, your E stops being a late game rapid fart, scaling with AD so your on-hit builds will actually hurt a bit. Very significantly, though it takes a lot of getting used to in order to use it effectively, locking in your W card now resets your auto attack. Since most people are sane and aren't permanently counting the gold, blue, and red cards like they're about to save humanity from global petrification, getting the reset on exactly the card you want when you first press W is often not consistent. So we go down the other path of anime and believe in the heart of the cards. Top Geki that Raigeki, stun your opponent, and go for the kill. Though a note on that, you can practice counting your cards in practice tool and start seeing results fairly quickly if you know what to do. Now there's a lot that the new ADTF is capable of using and lots of build ideas you can try and go for. Perhaps the most obvious is just an AD on hit TF. His stacked deck applies on every 4th shot, so kinda like Caitlyn's headshots, you can stack this very quickly when using Runan's Hurricane. Though perhaps even better is using the current Ginsu's Rageblade, where the AP nor the AD is wasted, and you're applying those stacked decks and other on-hit items you have twice every 3rd attack. Adding more on-hit effects like Blade of the Ruined King, Kraken Slayer, and Terminus can add up the damage in a satisfying way that can adapt to the enemies. Blade of the Ruined King for high HP, Terminus for high resistances and late game, and Kraken Slayer is always good. On the other hand, a more utility-focused approach can use more ability haste, and why not use a certain crit ability haste item named Navari Quickblade? Your attacks will reduce your basic ability cooldowns on hit, which isn't as epic as it sounds as it's just 12% of a small cooldown on W, but its innate ability haste and stats work wonders with TF anyway. Plus, it increases your ability damage on W and E nicely. Using other crit and ability haste items like Essence Reaver and of course the range increase of Rapid Fire Cannon help you not only catch enemies with Gold Card, but really spam them out to lock people down. Finally, you can totally play a tankier TF. His base AD might suck, but his wave clear is great with Titanic Hydra, and he's a damn good split pusher with his wave clear and ability to scout, and escape with his ultimate. Being tankier can help you more reliably land Ws to catch people, though Rapid Fire Cannon is still worth it. His base range still isn't great, so a little safety net of defense stats can help a lot, even if you won't be the main damage dealer in all likelihood. Oh, and it should go without question that you can mix and match for what you need. If you're the ADC and your team needs DPS, maybe you don't need tank items, and can instead go for the Kraken Slayer Rageblade combo. But if you can benefit from some extra pick power, a Rapid Fire Cannon can be invaluable. You'll just have to decide when it will be most important. You could follow up with Blade of the Ruined King or Terminus for more damage, but going Navari Quickblades for extra ability haste and W lockdown power could be nice if you need it, be it for kiting, catching, or bursting. And what if you're being focused a lot? Well, Zhonya's is a good item on Twisted Fate, and due to the AP ratio still present on E, it technically helps your DPS too. So that's a great pick against assassins. But is it all worth it? Before this patch, Twisted Fate had no AD ratios other than W, which was just because it was a basic attack modifier. Have the changes done anything for his damage, or is his late game DPS just a rapidly sloshing wet noodle? Well, in a lazy damage comparison using these Vayne recommended runes with lethal tempo and these items, Vayne is doing about 1800 DPS. Using the same runes, same target dummy, and these items, in fact downgrading the damage of Shiv to a rapid fire cannon since you're more likely going to build that on TF, Twisted Fate's DPS is a bit higher at around 1900. Now obviously a tankier target will take more damage from Vayne with her silver bolts, but it's probably higher than you might have thought it would be, right? His damage is nothing bad. Here's a Yasuo who had complete advantage against me, and despite losing so much DPS time because of his Wind Wall and R, I still take him down with the help of my Gnar, even though he has Jackshow, Shield Bow, and I don't have Terminus. Again, like, I die, but it's better than you force, right? Before the patch, AD TF wasn't exactly bad. I wouldn't let you say that, and now, he might actually be quite good. Only time will tell how good that ends up being in the long run, but for a player who cares more about fun, this is one of the biggest Ws I've ever had. 12 years of waiting for AD TF buffs since Season 2, and they finally happened. And man, does he feel good to play. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll enjoy giving AD Twisted Fate a try yourself, no matter what playstyle you go for. I'll see you next time. Special thanks to the members, AJBeat91, Warsquid, Ultimate Ground, Kaide, My Dad, N Era, Gentleman Zeta, Luna Eagle 1996, 53rd Alabama Booty Obi-Wan Kenobi, AC Immortal, Mr. Noodle, and Baz1378 for supporting the channel. Thank you all very much.